oftentimes people, the reason they come to my practice is something to do with, I'm tired all the time. That's the number one thing I hear. I'm tired all the time, and don't tell me I need more sleep because I'm sleeping, but I'm still tired. So automatically they think it's their thyroid or their adrenal glands or something worse going on. And we do all the tests. The tests come back perfectly normal, which then makes people very upset because they want a diagnosis.
They want you to write a prescription.
They want a quick fix to really a problem that's going to require them to slow down.
That's good stuff. We'll talk about that more. Dr. Saundra Dalton-Smith joining us today here on the Meeting House on Faith Radio, the Christian Product Expo in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Well, let's talk about this expectation of a quick fix. As you talk about people that come into your medical practice and they want you to, as I said, write a prescription. They want you to tell them this is what's wrong. Well, and let me just kind of take a little bit of a detour. How often do you, being a physician, get involved in actually telling people, well, you need to slow down, you need to rest?
That's where I started writing because so often there's a pressure from a physician's standpoint to crank out the patients, to keep them moving. You have so many people scheduled for a day, and the amount of counseling and teaching and education really that's needed to be effective doesn't fit into a normal practice, because it takes more than a 10-minute, listen to your heart, listen to your lungs, out the door with a prescription to really be able to educate people. So I had to change my practice. So over the course of the 20 years, I went from scheduling people every 15 minutes to sometimes it's 20 to 25 minutes. I really had to make a decision about what type of physician I wanted to be. Did I want to be one that was just giving prescriptions for things that I knew needed something more? Or did I really want to change people's lives? And that's where the writing came from, because some people, they don't really want to have a long counseling session or anything like that. They want the quick fix. And so you have to be able to give them some extra resources to help them be able to see that this isn't something I can give you a pill for. This is a lifestyle change that needs to be made.
Well, a pill is not a remedy in some cases, I would say. And people come in expecting a pill that can make them feel better. Maybe an energy jolt or something that they can take that will just, all of a sudden improve their lives.
I call it the Lifeline B12 shot. Everybody wants a B12 shot
That's
for
right.
everything.
Give me that jolt there. But what you're actually saying is this is going to take some work.
Yeah, it's going to take trust in God, because for so many of us, we don't rest because we feel like if we keep moving, things will keep progressing and that we have some control over the process. And so that's a big part of it. That's part of the reason that the entire faith concept oftentimes comes into my medical practice, because people have to understand you're really not in control. You have to get to a place of trust.
Well, and let's talk about trusting God, the biblical, the spiritual element of what we're talking about today. What have you found to be effective as far as really applying God's truth into a situation to enable a person, a believer in Christ, to really experience, well, as the Bible refers to, the rest that God has in store for us?
Yes, that's really, I take them all the way back to Genesis. I take a look at where really the whole concept of rest was first introduced. It was introduced on day 7. Well, on day 6, humankind was created. And so and animals were created first, then humans were created, then we went into a day of rest. And then we don't actually see work being discussed until after that day of rest. And when I saw that, it was like reading Genesis for the first time, because I'd always thought that rest was what man did after they worked. Like I had to work to earn my rest. But really the biblical example that we are shown is that man was created. On the next day, God rested. Well, while God was resting, what was man doing? Because there's no mention of work till chapter 2, after the day of rest. So my mindset shifted when I saw that rest wasn't what I did after I earned it. Rest was the position I was to begin my work from, resting and trusting Him prior to stepping into any work that He has for me to do.